What a day for markets, AI, and geopolitics. Wall Street pushed higher, Nvidia was back in the spotlight, and the Dow crossed a big psychological line. Hey everyone, it's Friday morning, May 15th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sela, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Quick note before we dive in. Today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital, Asset Management Frankfurt. Learn more about our funds and strategies at amf-capital.de. Alright, let's get started. So, U.S. stocks moved higher yesterday, with the artificial intelligence trade once again taking center stage. At the same time, investors were watching a pretty important meeting between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping as the two leaders kicked off a high-stakes U.S. China summit. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.7%, gaining more than 350 points, and climbed above the 50,000 level for the first time since February. The Standard & Poor's 500 rose around 0.8% and crossed the 7,500 level for the first time. And the Nasdaq Composite gained 0.9%, helped by renewed strength in tech. A big part of that move came from Nvidia. Shares jumped more than 4% after news that the U.S. had approved sales of Nvidia's H200 chips to several Chinese companies. That was a major signal for investors that AI demand remains strong, and that some doors between the U.S. and China may be reopening, at least in selected areas. Now, the summit itself was also important. Trump and Xi both called for better ties between the two countries, and the discussions are expected to cover tariffs, artificial intelligence, and broader economic cooperation. Xi also welcomed several major American business leaders, including Nvidia's Jensen Huang, Tesla's Elon Musk, and Apple's Tim Cook. According to reports, Xi told business leaders that their companies could be deeply involved in China's reform and opening up, and that China's door would only open wider. Well, markets definitely liked the sound of that, but of course, geopolitics did not stop there. Investors are also hoping that China may play a role in easing tensions between Iran and the U.S. as the war continues to push oil prices higher. And higher fuel prices likely helped drive stronger U.S. retail sales in April, according to data released yesterday. On the company side, Cerebras began trading yesterday afternoon and surged above its initial public offering price. Cisco also had a strong day after beating earnings expectations and announcing an AI-focused restructuring plan, which includes cutting around 4,000 jobs. So, the big picture, AI enthusiasm is still alive, markets are reacting positively to signs of U.S. China engagement, but oil prices, inflation risks, and geopolitical tensions remain very much in the background. Alright, that's it for today's Capital Markets Quickie. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and stay in the loop. See you tomorrow morning.